Hi there, it's Sandra with Brew City Thrifts. Today I am back at the new Goodwill in Mukwonago, Wisconsin. One of my viewers wanted to see if I could pick up a print for her, and I'm going to hop in and see if it's still there. While I'm here, I'm going to do a little bit of shopping, so let's hit it. A viewer asked me to pick up a framed Erte print that was sort of in the corner of my last video. There it is. So far, I am not seeing it. It was a real miss on my part because that image, when made into an art mirror, sells for close to $1,000. And the framed print, one person is asking $150. I think some sold prices are above $50. I did see this Harry Potter Hogwarts canvas. I picked it up with a colleague of mine in mind. She is a big Harry Potter fan. I think my kids might have also liked it. They're big Harry Potter fans as well. My eyes were drawn to this lovely watercolor print. This is a botanical study of flowers, and it is signed there at the bottom in pencil. On the back there is a label from a local framing store with a date of 1991. So it's a vintage watercolor and it's quite lovely, and so I put it in my cart, and then I go back to get the second matching picture. The artist's name is Marjorie Stodgall, and I couldn't find out anything about her online. I think she must be a local artist, and she certainly does lovely, lovely work. I took just a moment to admire this sweet cross stitch of two little kids and a bird, and in the lower right hand corner there were initials and the date of 1991. Wow, what happened in 1991? Everyone got so creative, and then they went to that framing store and got their works framed. This box set of frames is kind of nice. I like those blingy frames, and I think they usually are made in India, but for $9.99 that's not going to work, so I put those back. I don't pick up a lot of salt and pepper shakers, but those of you who've watched me before might know that I'm extraordinarily fond of hand-painted violets on porcelain and ceramics. In this case, these are actually transferware, but they're quite pretty, and I did take them with me. I have better luck with the second set of salt and pepper shakers that I pick up that day. I noticed these two milk glass salt and peppers. They are vintage and they're quite large. They have a really nice graphic on them. They turn out to be, I believe, Hazel Atlas. I see an identical pair on eBay that are Hazel Atlas. They are part of a 4-piece set, and the 4-piece set sells for $100, and another similar pair of these sold for $50. So this was a great pickup. This bear really isn't my thing in a lot of ways. It's a bear, number one, and bears are terrifying. Number two, it's kind of it's big, it's heavy, it's kitschy, but I kept thinking, cabins in the North Woods, they'd love this piece. So I did put it in my cart for a while. I'm browsing through some of the vases in the vase aisle, and this looked like it was old. It did have a marking on it. It said 1966. It was lightweight though, and I think it might have been a hobbyist piece, and even though there was a matching one, I wasn't that interested in it. I learned so much with this hobby, and one of the things I learned from this trip is about this red apothecary jar here. I picked it up. I thought it looked very new, and that's why I didn't really explore it further, and I didn't recognize the word on it. It says lacticarium, and lacticarium is the name of a kind of milky substance that you can get from lettuces, and it apparently can kind of give you a little bit of a buzz, a little bit of a high. On eBay, some identify it as vintage, others not. It goes for somewhere between $16 and $25-ish, and that's what I learned. Here among the plates and china, my eye is drawn to this colorful bowl. It's hand painted. I like the design. I definitely like the color scheme. It's contemporary. It's made by a company called Dutch Wax, and I put it in my cart, but later on I look up some comparables and I decide to put it back. I had picked up this display box. I do use those for myself. And then on the lower shelf I spot what looks like some yellow depression glass, and it's very pretty, but for $6.99 I can't do it. Turns out to be, I believe, the Madrid pattern of Federal Depression glass, so I passed on that. But then, well, that's Frankoma. I know Frankoma because I collect it. It is $14.99 as is for this chip and dip, and you can see up in the upper right hand corner there is that little chip on the corner, but you can almost not see it because it blends in with the glaze, the brown glaze color, and I don't mind it. It's, for me, $14.99 is a decent price for someone who's going to pick it up for themselves, so that goes in my cart and it's coming home. And here's where my good luck turns to bad luck. I did know this looked like potentially it was uranium glass. Honestly, I just wasn't that thrilled with the design. It's got a fleur-de-lis handle in the middle, but the rest of it isn't that exciting. Well, I should have looked it up. It turns out to be potentially Fostoria uranium glass, a sandwich plate. Other eBay resellers are listing it between $60 and $160. A definite big miss on my part. There's a little bit of everything in this area. The first thing that catches my eye is this, what looks to be a vintage shelf with a cutout, but I cannot figure out what that is supposed to be. I don't know what that is. Maybe, is it a mouse? I'm not sure. And I noticed these ceramic figurines here. I like them. They're they're kind of figurative. That looks like an elephant and a giraffe, baby giraffe, and then a mama giraffe here. I like them. They're nice. I like the design. They are contemporary, but just well designed, and I was thinking about taking them with me. But then I noticed behind those little baby animals, this handmade ceramic, sort of an ikebana or flat style flower vase with a built-in metal frog. And I really loved that. It was kind of like a yin-yang design. It might have been missing a partner piece, but I thought it had a lot of beauty on its own, and put it in my cart. And I am devastated to say that the tip of it chipped off somehow on the way home. So unfortunately, I will not be selling that piece, but I really liked it. I thought this cat was really cute. It's just a lot of fun. I like the design, but it was pretty lightweight, and I decided I would not pick it up. I spotted this bookend with Rodin's The Thinker on it, and I pulled it out because I know that some of those brass bookends, especially the ones that are vintage from the 1920s and 30s, can go for pretty good money, and they're very nice quality. This one, on the other hand, did not have the quality I was looking for, so I left it behind. Well, I love the tchotchke aisle, as you know, and this had a lot of stuff going on, but I wasn't seeing anything that was really standing out and grabbing my eye right away. So as I got a little closer, I looked at that owl. I'm not sure what that was. It was it has that little notch in the top. So, and I thought it was ceramic, but this blue bird was very pretty. It's chalkware. It had a couple dings on it. I think someone might be happy to pick it up and take it home with them. This is another cat figurine that caught my eye. I love the shape of it. It had a chipped ear, or I think I might have taken that one with me. I'm reaching for this figurine, which is a Chinese mudman. They're called mudmen. I don't know why for sure. This one is relatively contemporary. When I was growing up, my family had a series of 3 very finely crafted and detailed mudmen that over time got quite dinged up. I then noticed this boxed plate. It is from the 1974 World's Fair. Without knowing too much about this as a collectible, I thought the fact that it was boxed might make it worth something to someone. For $4.99, I probably should have looked it up, because honestly, it's not that much of a find. I think they go for about $15 online. And then I saw this, what could be vintage or maybe even antique bronze horse figurine. It looks to have some age from the look of the screws on the bottom, and I do like the design. I like the movement in this piece. The horse is prancing, and so I put that in my cart. At the time, I like to open things up. I mean, you don't see how pretty that is until you open it up. But there's often so many boxes at Goodwill that I can't open them all up. So here I take a look at a couple of them, and they don't have too much inside of them. But it is a good idea to do it if you have the time. And this ceramic turtle with Kokopelli and other Native American designs was signed. At the time, I was not sure about it, and I did end up leaving it behind. Tried looking it up on eBay, and I haven't found a comp, so I don't know if I missed something big there too. These willow tree figurines do seem rather ubiquitous, so I don't really pick those up. But behind here, I see what looks to be potentially vintage nativity figures. This is a paper mache box with a nicely done bird on it, but the price of $6.99 on it was kind of confusing me. It didn't have a signature. Somebody at Goodwill thought it was really worth something. So here's what I ended up bringing home with me. I got the salt and pepper shakers with the violets on them. I got the Hazel Atlas milk glass salt and peppers, probably my best find of the day. The little display box underneath for myself. The Frankoma chip and dip for myself. A Hogwarts canvas poster for a colleague. Brass horse. I'm thinking it's antique. I hope so. The little ceramic vase that broke on the way home, and the souvenir piece from the World's Fair. So my second trip to the Mukwonago Goodwill, and it was only a couple weeks ago, and I was still able to find quite a few things. I think that the Frankoma pottery is my best find, and that is going right into my collection, and I may be using it this weekend when I have some people over. I think I'm hopeful for that milk glass salt and pepper. I did look up some comps on eBay, and a recent sold was about $38, so that's a pretty good find. But regardless, I was going to be in and out, really wasn't going to do too much shopping, so I'm happy with what I got. Come back and we'll do it again, friends. Thrift on siblings, like my channel, subscribe, make some comments, and we will do this again, like I just said a couple seconds ago. Bye-bye.